Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. This is an ongoing series that we are presenting at Insurance Advisors Direct. And the series is the limited medical plans. It's the future landscape of health insurance. My name is Christy Strauss, and I will be presenting FlexNet today. FlexNet is the guarantee issue, no pre-existing condition plan. And it has a lot of exciting things that I'll share with you as we go into it. But just to recap what the first two webinars went over was we wanted to present to all of you agents an opportunity to learn more about these limited medical plans. These plans are an option or solution to many of your clients that are looking for a cheaper premium, a way to get to their benefits quicker, and just a solution for somebody who has good health, average health, and just is looking for protection for everyday types of things, whether it be just illnesses, sicknesses, or, a sudden injury or something along those lines. So we wanted to continue on the conversation and present to you the different carriers in the industry that offer these types of plans. As I mentioned, today is FlexNet. It's the guarantee issue plan. And the weeks coming, we will also roll out some of the other carriers that have some type of underwriting, whether it be simplified or full. So stay tuned for those as well. And again, my name is Christy Strauss. At the end of the webinar, you'll have my contact information along with Dan Greer. He and I are both the lead on these limited medical products, so feel free to contact us with any questions you should have. FlexNet is underwritten by National Guardian Life, NGL, and they have 4 plans that you can select from. All of them are the guarantee issue plans, no pre-existing conditions, but they refer to them as RX Plan 1 and RX Plan 2. RX Plan 1 has one with a baked-in RX and one without an RX. And the Limited Medical Plan 2 has one with a baked-in RX and one without. So depending on your needs, the client's needs, you can select a plan that is suitable, affordable, and desirable for each of your clients. Each one of these plans have quite a robust association membership discounts. And as you can see on this screen, National Small Business Association is one of them. These aren't additional monies. These are once you buy the plan, once you purchase one of these plans, you automatically have access to the benefits of these associations. Prescription drugs, vision discounts, hearing, dental, and Costco even discounts, legalese, identity guard, even long-term care. And I can tell you the long-term care discount is a 5% discount on that premium. So if you're looking to purchase long-term care, you're going to want to mention that you do have this association membership. My eWellness, Elder Care, Dream Vacations, Needy Meds, and Direct Labs. All of these are additional discounts when you should need any of these type of options. FlexNet also has a Step Up Association benefit, and the membership is Wellness Plan of America. In that plan, additionally, are pet benefits. They have the Pet Coach and Pet Assure. They have telemedicine. And I'll tell you, if you haven't already used telemedicine, this is something to watch for in the future. Many of the health plans will have this built right into their plans. I can just, a quick example, my daughter has a few children, so you can imagine going in and out of the physician's office when back to school time comes. So one of the little grandchildren had a rash, and she was able to dial into her telemedicine and within about 10 minutes she was speaking with a physician. She actually ended up FaceTiming that physician so they could take a look at the rash, and they were able to diagnose and prescribe medication just in the comfort of her own home, not having to take all of the kids to the physician's office and wait around, and many times it's just filled with sick kids, so the others are just being exposed to this too. So again, that is an awesome feature and probably well utilized, especially when you don't feel like sitting around in a physician's office. Prescription drug assistance, and then health advocacy. The other thing that this FlexNet plan is a part of is the PPO network multi-plan. And if you're not familiar with that, all of these limited medical plans use the same PPO network. Doesn't mean you can't go elsewhere and use your insurance. It just means the multi-plan network has pre-negotiated rates, which probably in some instances are drastically reduced rates. So what I will tell you is when you go into this network and put in your state and look for the hospital that you go to or even your physician, you're going to find that there are a good number of physicians that partake in this as well as hospitals. So what I can do is send a link to you or send me an email saying, hey, please send me that link so I can take a look. It's just a good idea to check it out ahead of time if you know your client's physician. They give you that information and perhaps the hospital or facility that they like to go to. So the details on and what I'll be referencing here in today's webinar is Medical Plan 2 with the built-in RX. So this is the detail of the way this plan works. There are inpatient benefits, and it begins with the sickness, the confinement of up to 60 days per calendar year, and that amount is $400. So let's just take, for example, you're admitted into the hospital. Perhaps you have pneumonia. They're going to keep you for however many days. Let's just say it turns out to be 3 days. You're going to get $400 a day because of that sickness for being in that hospital. Now, what happens if you had a bill and it was more like $600 a day? Well, then that leaves exposure of $200 a day that you'd end up having to owe. But if you're in that network, again, that's probably been negotiated to pretty close to that $400. We'll go into some other things, but just something to keep in mind. FlexNet is, because it's guarantee issue, no pre-X. It's not going to look back at any of those pre-X. It's not the richest of the carriers we have, but it is one, that you can get to your clients for just quick turnaround, no underwriting, and that sort of thing. If you are going to use this, then I would probably add on maybe a guarantee issue accident plan like a Life Secure, and perhaps another critical illness plan. You can stack these up just to help with that exposure, that other out-of-pocket exposure. So let's just go ahead and continue. The non-critical care unit for an accident is doubled. So now it's $800 a day. Let's just say you were riding your bicycle, you had an accident, whatever happened, you're confined to the hospital for a couple of days, you're going to be given $800 a day. Then they have the critical care unit for sickness or injury confinements. You get up to 15 days per calendar year, and now that daily allotment is $1,000. Mental illness, alcoholism, substance abuse, those are included. They give you 10 days per calendar year, and that's $100. You can see the surgery both inpatient and outpatient. Per calendar year is $1,000. Inpatient surgery, the operating room, one per calendar year is $750. And then Also included is the anesthesia for that surgery. That is one per calendar year, and that's $100. The nursing, private duty, nursing, home health care, 5 days per calendar year, allotting $100 for each of those days. Then you also have your physician office visits. Sometimes you'll go in for a new prescription, a new patient, and you're just going to get a quick once over, not like a full physical. So you're allotted $75 for that, and consultation visit daily benefit, one per calendar year, that's $100. And then, of course, you have your annual physical daily benefit at $100. Again, staying within that network, these prices seem low, but when they've been pre-negotiated rates, they're probably closer to the actual rate itself. In the event, let's just say, for example, that let's take the emergency room here. You went into the emergency room due to an injury. Let's say the actual cost of that emergency room visit was $300, not $500, but you were allotted $500. What happens is FlexNet's going to pay the $300, and then the policyholder's getting the $200 back sent to them. So kind of keep that in mind too. It works, and not to get the policyholder wealthy, because you're not going to make any money on these plans, but in the event there is extra dollars in that allotment, it will go back to the policyholder. And then there's the MRI, the CT scan, the mammogram, any kind of diagnostic lab tests, and you can see that each of these have a specified number per calendar year they will allow, and a limit. So just following that. Now then, the RX that is built into this particular plan, again, we're just looking at one of the 4 plans that FlexNet has available, and we are the plan 2 with the built-in RX. We do have a formulary that you can take a closer look at. I will send a link for that. So we have the retail pharmacy. You can get a prescription that gives you that 30-day pill refill or pill prescription, or you can do a mail order 90-day, and there is no deductible on those, obviously, and then there is a copay for preferred brands. For the generic, it's the lesser of the usual and customary, or $10 for each of those 30-day supplies. Then if you do that 90-day mail order, it's sort of the same thing, the lesser of the usual and customary charges, but now it's 30 because it's giving you the 3 months worth. This is an example of how the link to get to that formulary. So again, if you want to put in this information, I will have this available on the YouTube IAD video library, so you can take a look at it and watch this again, look at this link, and then you can pull this information and enter it online. But that's going to help you determine if your client's prescriptions are in the FlexNet formulary. Again, this is just some more information. The copay at network discounted drug prices, it's the same usual and customary language, or whichever is less. And then, just combining the retail and mail service. This is the plan when it says per employee per month. This FlexNet has a family plan too, so you can see that it's the price that of allotment for RX is going to go up to provide additional monies for the other family members, which is now then $500. So you can get the plan for an individual, for a couple, or for a full family. So there's 3 ways that you can get that. There is an annual limit of $3,000 per insured, or then $6,000 for that family. Now, the really neat thing about FlexNet's enrollment is that you can do it much like I'm doing right now and just provide a webinar where you can screen share with the others and go ahead and then just give them the information. So once you're appointed, you'll have access to this login where you can either take an application via the phone or the screen sharing opportunity. But that's where you're going to take your application. It's all online, electronic signature, and so forth. And this is Dan Greer's, so we'll just use him. You get logged in. This is what your agent portal is going to look like. It's going to have Insurance Advisors Direct. It will have your name or your agency's name, and we'll give you some information, the states available that you can write the plan in, and the terms. Obviously, there's tabs here to give you some additional information. And then down below, it'll say click here for the rate sheet. We'll get to that right now. And you can see the cost of these plans. There's a one-time enrollment fee tagged onto each one of these things. But again, it's just that one-time fee. And so very affordable. The richer plan is the 400. And if you have needs with RX, you probably want to get it with that RX. You have the single plus children and the single plus spouse, or you've got the entire family package available. So now we're ready to go ahead and enroll either an individual or a couple or family, and you're going to select your state. Once you click update, it's going to load that state in and some information about the plan, and then you're just going to advance on. You'll see that one-time enrollment fee that will be pre-factored in, and then the second part will be choosing the actual plan that you want. There is $17 per month administration fee, and then you will have a monthly network fee that's factored into this price. And you will, or I'm sorry, a $3.50 per month network fee. The product has a drop-down menu where you're going to select that product that you want. And when you go down to the Flex Extra, the products have to match up. If they don't, it's not going to allow you to advance. So kind of keep that in mind. And then all that will then come up to your reoccurring monthly fee. And let me just go back one. So that was I was just taking a look at the single plan with no RX, the $222.89. I thought they matched up, but that's the 200 with RX. The next screen is going to be where you enter the information for the client that you'll be writing the policy on. Obviously, it's going to continue adding more members as you need it, but the first person is going to be the policy, the main policy holder, and you'll put their name and address in, obviously all of their contact information. Again, the only thing we're looking at is gender and date of birth. And then over on the right side of the screen, you're going to see all the information that they selected. Additionally will be the effective date, which they can choose. So if you wanted to write this knowing that, say, perhaps they're going on vacation and they want it to be effective for August 1st, but they won't be around. So you can write it and today and put that effective date for that future date, and that's when it will go into effect. There is a note area, and perhaps that would be where you'd maybe just make a note. Please note they are looking for a future effective date. There are a few ways to make that monthly payment, and it can be done via credit card or ACH bank draft. If you click on that box, it's going to give more information like the routing number, the account number that they can provide for you. Again, as I mentioned, you can be doing this over the phone, or you can do this via screen sharing, or obviously the old-fashioned way is just sitting in front of you. You'll need to make sure that you check the box acknowledging that they have verified the enrollment information, and then the electronic signature is done by either entering a cell phone number of the client, and it will send them a verification code, or then an email is another option, and they will be sent a verification code and a link to verify. Once you go ahead and do that and hit send, there will be a code that you can use in lieu of that signature. So again, still more information, submit the order, and that's it. It's just that simple. So the FlexNet product is not as robust as the others, but it is a guarantee issue, no pre-X. You get to the benefits immediately. Just recapping, and if you are looking at the different costs that it allows, if you're using that network, that multi-plan network that I mentioned, these are all pre-negotiated rates, so they are reasonable rates for this particular network. And you don't have to use the network, but if you are going to use it, you will be it will benefit you from a cost standpoint. With that being said, I don't see any questions, so I will stop at this time. Thank you very much for joining today and taking time out of your day to learn a little bit about the FlexNet plan. Next week, we will be off, and then we will have Manhattan Life will be our next carrier that we'll talk about and go into some detail on. So thank you for your time, and you all have a good day.